Do you sense it, ladies and gentlemen? Do you sense it? Because I do. The world right now, more than ever, is craving and wanting so badly realness, authenticity, genuine connection, real conversation, real connection, all those things that AI and technology have slowly but surely, and now it's been accelerated, have pushed us away from. Aren't you tired of seeing the next ad online? Aren't you sick of the next thing that you see and you're not sure? Like, I just got an ad. It showed people being on a glass bridge, and the lady has like a rock on her head. And obviously I knew it was AI right away, but she falls and breaks it, and then everybody starts plummeting to their demise. Obviously an AI generated video, but I'm sick of seeing that stuff. It was cool at first, but with that has come the fake DMs, the fake conversations, and the fake everything, where you listen to something and it's like right away you're turned off. It's almost like the sleazy salesperson that we hated or we didn't want to see on TV, or that we got that called us or knocked on our door. But now, because social media has connected the world, we're hearing that and seeing that every 2 seconds. So much so that a lot of individuals now, and you test this and you let me know in the comment section, how many people you know or people that you've been around, whether at your job, your personal life, or whatever it is, that they take social media more serious than the real world. So much so that if something BS circulates on social media, they act like it's real. They won't even verify it. This is what drove me up the wall when it came to the whole issues that started coming out, like 2019, 2021, all the woke stuff, and then the C word and the lockdowns and all that. And I'm like, man, people are just gobbling up anything about this and just, no, this and that. I'm like, dude, no one's even stopped to think for a second. Anything that anybody would share on social media, either side, it seemed like, whether you were against it or not, jumping to conclusions, right? Because again, nobody's perfect. I've accidentally jumped to conclusions or made mistakes too. But when that's your default and that's all you do, that's a problem. And most people are erring on the side of that. So we're getting so far away from all the things that made the world cool and unique and a pleasant place to be in. So I do my best as an individual to be a shining light, right? Smile, have good conversations with people, bring a lot of value to my team, the people around me, the people who watch my content, the paid customers, everybody. However, I do not believe that most people are going with that hat on, so to speak, of, you know what? I'm going to go out and make a good impact on the world. I'm not going to contribute to this madness. So in a world where free speech is shunned, you speak your mind. In a world where people are afraid to state their opinion about something, you state it boldly. Even if you may be wrong on the subject later on. It's okay. You state it. In a moment where maybe you're offended, I or someone else said something that offended you, instead of having a big backlash and trying to cancel the person, you know what? If you're watching a video or you're looking at a post online, you just go to the next post. You know what? I'm not going to follow that person anymore. That's fine. Instead of wasting all this time and energy, this is why, like, on my channel, I've never done that. When have you ever seen me, make a video about somebody, this guy's a piece of shit? I don't care, dude. If somebody says something or has character traits that I don't like, I won't associate with them. It's that simple. It's that simple. I'm not going to sit here and cry about it or, this and that. I don't care. Next channel, right? This profile, I'm not going to follow it. I don't care. You can click the little thing that says not interested in watching. I do that all the time, which pisses me off on YouTube, because even though I do that, it keeps pushing me some videos, which confirms to me, and I already knew this, that the algorithm is premeditated, right? It's not random. It's not, you're watching this video. But I digress. People want real. This is why I believe one of the foundational pillars of my brand has been that, and one of the reasons that it stood the test of time. People know that here with me, you're going to get honesty, you're going to get a deeper level, because here's another one. People are sick of small talk, surface level conversation. I think a lot of people are. We don't like it. It seems fake. And in a world where fake is accepted and championed, real scares them. You would all agree that that's true universally. But here we keep it real. I know that's not going to be the most popular. That's what's led me to getting censored and all that stuff in the past. That's okay. But that's a foundational pillar of me and my brand, and that's never, ever going to go away. Ever. And I will stand by that until the day that I close my eyes and they never open again. Because I know for the evolution of man, our society, our culture, our mental well-being, that's the way to be. A society that's not built on honesty and transparency is not going to last. Is going to fall prey to deprivation and all the other stuff that we detest. So I don't care if the masses don't prescribe by that and don't agree to it. It's the same thing in your daily life. Imagine if we took that philosophy that the masses are pushing and we just installed it in well, you know what? I'm just going to steal because other people are stealing anyway. Well, I'm just going to break the law because everybody's breaking the law anyway. I'm just going to, you know what? Other people aren't paying their bills. Fuck it. I'm not going to pay my bills because there's other people. There's some people who aren't paying their bills. Why should I have to? Slippery slope. Slippery slope. What is the world to, be a nice guy. Being a nice guy doesn't get you anything. All the stuff that's pushed by the masses, like the lion's share of it, is a bunch of nonsense. What they tell you to do and what the expectation. You should do this and you should do that. All that should stuff, shove it up your ass. I really want people to understand, because so many people will come to me in this comment section, just in general, and say, man, I agree with this stuff and you're right. I think the same thing. I've been saying the same thing. That's awesome. But if so many people feel that way, why aren't more people expressing it and doing that en masse to then shift it? Because that's how this stuff begins to shift. The voice of the common man like me and you begins to speak up and more, and suddenly that number accumulates so high that it causes a ripple effect. They can't help but notice the change. If everybody spoke out and really championed free speech, the cancel culture wouldn't exist, the one that attacked me. You think all these bots and all these little kids would have the time to go after everybody to get them canceled? No, they go after me and a couple other people because we speak up. I'll have 1 million DMs that people agree with me, but nobody's speaking up. That's why it exists. We allow it. So I'm putting that responsibility on us at least a little bit, although we don't control everything in society. Some of these narratives, we do have at least some say or some influence in it. So much so that if we really put the pressure on them and applied it, things would change, right? Why do you think they called back and canceled and flipped 180 on all this stuff about the C word, all the lockdowns and the VACCINE and everything else? Because enough people stood up against it. I remember telling people what was going to happen, and you're crazy, you're a conspiracy theorist, and literally everything I said that was going to happen happened. But then they backpedaled. It got to the point where I literally, being in Los Angeles at that time, had to have personal relationships and connections with the places I would go to, so I wouldn't have to show that card or wear a mask or any of that. Like a gas station I went to, right? Like this gym, this place, this market. I mean, it was insane. You couldn't go to the movie theater, the gym, unless you had your little card, right? Like, insanity, dude. But enough people said, whoa, no, we're not going to do this, that they finally flipped it. So interesting that, again, looking at it now, all that stuff that they said, it's so dangerous and this, that, and then suddenly they flip-flopped. Oh, well, what happened? Yet I had my life destroyed basically over that stuff. People don't know all the false reviews people are giving my businesses. Like I got shunned on the corporate side. Like it was bad. Now I don't care, but I'm just letting you know. All over something that eventually blew over 6 months or a year later that confirmed that virtually everything that I was saying and many other people were saying was correct. You see, but the world needs that. Imagine if that realness, the authenticity, the transparency, and the stuff that we were talking about and demanding from the government never came out. Imagine if those doctors never did that stand in front of the White House and some of the other brave acts that you would see of people saying, hey, we're being silenced. We need our voices to be heard. That's an extension of what I'm talking about in this video. Imagine if that didn't exist. Imagine if we all just followed like little worker bees and, oh, you want me to get this shot and that one and the 20 other ones? Sure, I'll do it. I mean, it'd be a mess. And now I have a cousin of mine, Matias, in South America. Poor guy, so brainwashed. He got the shot, and I think one of the boosters, and he's having serious health issues, and he's so brainwashed. He's upset at the doctors for telling him, dude, they're like, we've ran every test. It has to have been those shots because you have a clean bill of health otherwise. So now he's like having heart issues and something else, and he's like on medication for the rest of his life. And I remember talking to him before, so much so that he basically X'd me out of his life because I was against that narrative and he was so for it. Even though we had a great relationship before. We don't talk anymore. To this day, we don't talk. And he's a couple years older than me. I think he's like two or 3 years older than me. I spent a lot of time with him, with my family in South America. Every time I went to go visit South America, I'd hang out with him and we'd have a good time. Destroyed over that. So think about how many positions you're put in. Like, I have no problem, even though it breaks my heart, to sacrifice that relationship and friendship with my cousin. I'm not going to not be truthful about something because at the end of the day, I was also concerned for his health. And I told him something like this could potentially happen. But it's okay. If I have to sacrifice that friendship to stand for honesty and truth, that's fine. At the end of the day, let's say I was wrong. I could always apologize to him and say, hey, I was wrong about this thing. Because that's a part of life too. But if one stands in the spirit of honesty, transparency, realness, connection, and all this stuff, and you live your life that way, and then you make a mistake, it's not a problem. What's the problem is being so stubborn, like a lot of people are, that they can never admit their mistakes, because that would fall under not being honest and truthful and transparent and having real connection and all these other traits that I'm talking about. Because we all know that everybody makes a mistake, but then that person who's righteous and lives by all these fundamental commandments, in quotes, that I'm saying, you would easily say, oh man, I was wrong, I apologize. And then everything would be fine. My cousin could come tomorrow and say, you know what, dude, I was crazy, I apologize. They'd be like, great, bro, and we could just pick up where we left off. I'm even open to keep talking to him now. It's him that closed the door. Whatever, it is what it is. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. Why? I had good intentions and I was honest and transparent about the situation. Whatever. I made mistakes in the past, right? I remember even most recently talking to a lot of my older team members that we lost when we made the transition from my old real estate company to this new one. In spite of, or, you know, in the events and the aftermath of all the censorship and all that, I had to move and leave and all that. It was a mess, and I lost some team members because where we joined, they weren't open in those states. And I reached out to them and personally, and it had one-on-one conversations with them to say, you know what? I did a lot of good things as a leader. Some of those things I probably could have planned a little bit better and moved a little bit differently. So, you know, I wanted to talk to you and apologize because that's one of the things as a leader I feel like I failed you on. And I wanted to let you know personally, right? Did I have to do that? No. But that's in spirit of all these things. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I was wrong recently about diet, right? I went plant-based for 10 years and I loved it and I felt amazing. But I started having health problems and I had to admit it, like to this day, right? For a good year and a half, I had not super serious where you could see it, but I was having skin issues that pretty much are gone now. Thank goodness, right? Still have some lingering effects now, but you can't see anything and it doesn't really affect me, right? It's more just a nuisance at this point. But I had to admit, hey, I was wrong. I followed that plant-based thing to the T. You guys know how hardcore I am and I did everything right. Started having some issues, right? Whatever, I had to admit it. Now I changed my diet. Not a problem. We move forward. But from the beginning to then to a couple years ago to now, it's always in search of the truth, doing things right. And if I make a mistake, I make a mistake. But again, that's what's missing today. What are people doing now? Looking for the shortcut, falling for the hype, all the fakeness. Like, I have a lot of people who come into my ecosystem online, which is primarily like sales stuff, communication, real estate, you know, that kind of stuff, online businesses. And it just blows my mind. It just blows my mind. There's absolutely almost nothing that's real. Everything has become social media famous and do this. It's just so fake and, oh, you can not lift a finger and just have AI run everything and you'll be a gazillionaire. It's like, oh my God, how are people believing this nonsense? I just did a short, I'm gonna upload it here on YouTube as well, about how YouTube, they're not gonna monetize AI content anymore. I knew that was going to happen, but how many people banked on faceless YouTube channels and pure automation? It's like, well, you're screwed now, dude. You know what I mean? So everywhere we look, this fakeness has just come in, and I'm tired of it. I know a lot of other people are tired of it. So we need to get back. And all this happens in life, right? A lot of these things come full circle. We were extreme in our viewpoints maybe on relationships 50, 60 years ago on one end. Now we swung violently the other way and people aren't happy. And we're just going to keep going back and forth because that's just the cycle of life. Now, hopefully we find some happy medium there. But whatever we're doing is not working. Right? We went from completely isolated in the towns and places that we were to being hyper connected with social media and technology. And now we full swung this way. And it's just the hype, the BS, the fake gurus and all that other shit that we've gone through in the cycles of the internet and people getting scammed. It's just nuts, man. But it's all in that same fake spirit of cutting corners and just all the stuff that's the antithesis of everything I've been discussing in this video, like honesty, transparency, being forthcoming, being a righteous person, doing right by others, right? Being a good example, not engaging in activities and things that, again, you would detest or not want to see in other people, but making sure you don't do that and engage in that yourself. So I think it's becoming a lot more clear to people. I'm noticing, like, even for me, I get a lot of messages that people prefer these raw videos without the pop-ups and all the magical editing that everybody does. And I've kept it that way on purpose. Because if I'm going to be somebody who champions communication and tells you how important it is, and I can't even shoot a video for 15 or 20 minutes straight without any editing or cuts, who am I to sit here and lecture you on the importance of communication and all that if I myself can't even communicate? It just doesn't make any sense. So a lot of the things that I've done over the years too, although a lot of people don't agree with them, they're there for a reason. Like me keeping this stuff simple, the thumbnails, don't really use them. If I do, for the most part, they're simple. The format of these videos, right? The simplicity of everything that I do is to show people you don't need all the bells and whistles and all that fake rah hype shit to grow your brand and do what you do, right? I went from being a broke kid to getting into real estate and doing well, to having a great team in Southern California, to then moving across the country to Miami, having a nationwide real estate team and just doing so much. And it all started with just the simplicity of this and hard work and growing my brand on social media and doing things the right way. If you do things the right way, you'll be fine, right? So I'm definitely going to up the amount of content that I'm doing because I personally enjoy doing the long form videos way more than the shorts and all that. I'm not a big fan of the shorts. I just do it because that's what the algorithm pushes, But people want realness. People want authenticity. And I'm here for your feedback, right? I know this channel is new and it's growing, but if you do watch this and there's certain topics you want discussed or certain points in videos that you want further elaboration on, let me know, right? I'm still doing 3 shorts a day and 2 long form videos a day, but I'm willing to do more. These little 15, 20 minute sessions that I shoot are super simple. I'll throw the little captions app to add the captions right here. And then that's it, I upload it, right? There's really not much else. But whenever faced with that crossroads, always choose realness, transparency, authenticity, being grounded, humility, and all the things that I've really told people to focus on. I preach, I teach, I embody, and I do my best to represent those things. Again, I'm not perfect, but I'm always doing my best to push that forward because I feel long term, that's the way that everybody, individually and as a collective, that we grow and that we expand more in the direction that's conducive to us moving forward as a society. Because although technology and many things are accelerating at a rapid pace right now, I feel like people's connectivity is in shambles, relationships are in shambles, people's communication skills are in shambles, people don't feel in control of their lives. Career security right now seems very volatile to most people. And it's sad because I want to see people win just in general. And that's why I'll always keep making these videos and pushing this message, because whether this becomes wildly popular or not, I know that these ideas are ultimately what's going to help people move forward and connect with a better life, which is really what all of this is about, right? So let me know if I can help you out with anything. I'm working some stuff on the back end for everything that we do, but take advantage of some of the free resources that I have. I also have a website, full catalog. We do coaching, training. We have individual products, whatever you would want, if that's something you're interested in. Other than that, support the channel, right? Hit that thumbs up, show us some support, and we'll see you on the next video. Peace.